simple input and output with scanf and printf statements, or input and output with scanf and printf functions. First, let us see output. In order to print any data on the screen, we need to use printf function. The syntax for this is printf followed by the format specifier or the message. So we should enclose it within the inverted commas, comma, write the argument list whenever you are using any format specifiers. The example here is int a equal to 10. So printf integer equal to %d /n is an escape sequence for a new line, /t is similarly for tab space. Here I am using /n, which is nothing but a new line, comma a. So in this, within the inverted commas, whatever we have written, integer is equal to %d /n. Everything here, integer equal to followed by in the %d, the value of a will be printed. That is the output you are going to get it as integer equal to 10. So /n is not going to print. /n is an escape sequence which will make the control to go for the new line. Simple input and output function. Within this we are going to see now input. In order to read any data from the keyboard, then we need to use scanf function. So the syntax here is scanf followed by format specifiers, comma, address of the argument list followed by semicolon. So the example is, if I say int a, so the format specifier for integer is %d. So we need to write it as scanf %d within the inverted commas, comma, address of a, and close it with a bracket and followed by semicolon. So if you are using character, %c. If you are using float, %f. If you are using double, it is %lf. So in order to read any data, we need to use this scanf function. Next, formatted I O or formatted output. The function printf is used for formatted output to the standard output based on the format specification. The format specification string along with the data to be output or the parameters to the printf function what we are passing. The syntax is printf followed by the format and data 1, data 2 and so on. So in this syntax, format is the format specification string. This contains for each variable to be output. A specification begins with a symbol called percentile followed by the character called the conversion character. Example is printf %c within the inverted commas, comma, data 1. I am closing this with a semicolon. So the character specified after percentile is called a conversion character because it allows one data type to be converted into another data type and then it prints. So the conversion characters and the strings. So here we have %d for converting into integers, %c for character, %s for string, %f for float and %lf is for double. So the precisions will be for float and double, the precision will be 6, which means after point we are going to get 6 decimals, 6 positions. Next, formatted input. The function used here is scanf, is used for formatted input from standard input and provides many of these conversion facilities of the functions similar to the printf. So scanf followed by format, comma. So here we need to give the, after the format specifiers, we need to give the address list, address of num1, comma, address of num2 and so on. The function scanf reads and converts characters from the standard input depending upon the format specification string and stores the input in memory location represented by other arguments. That is in num1 and num2, whatever the arguments we are providing, the data is going to store in those particular location. For example, scanf within the inverted commas we are writing %c, %d and here address of name, comma, address of roll number. So the data names are listed as address of name and address of roll number So instead of name and roll number respectively. So this is how the data names are specified in a scanf function. In case of a string, type the data names and the data name is not preceded by the character address of sign. So here whenever we are going to read any data, we need to represent address of that particular identifier name. So this is about the formatted input. So introduction to stdin, stdout and stderr. So stdin, when we say it is an input, it means to feed some data into a program. An input can be given in the form of file or from the command line or from the keyboard. C programming provides a set of built-in functions to read the given input and feed to the program as per the requirement. stdout, when we say output, that is standard output, it means to display some data on screen or on the file. C programming provides a set of built-in functions to output the data on the computer screen as well as to save it in the text or binary files. stderr, when we say an error, standard error, it means to display some error message on the screen.